Hey guys, I'm David Mitchell, founder and CEO of TRADEway. What if God himself gave you a blueprint for how to handle your money? Well, the Bible is a practical book. Let's dive in and see what it has to say about wealth, about risk, about leverage, and about investing, and uncover how trading in the stock market can be a powerful tool for moving towards your biggest goals. We're so happy you're here. This is The Word on Investing. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. You know, if you found our show because you're really interested in stock trading, but you just feel like you don't know what you're doing yet, we got something really important for you. We want to give you a free gift. If you got to TRADEway.com/steps, we're going to give you a free video series called The 7 Steps to Start Your Trading. In this awesome video series, we're going to uncover 7 simple steps that you need to do to get your stock trading business started. And we're going to give it to you free. So just go out to TRADEway.com/steps and check it out. Now, I know we've talked a lot about this before, but I cannot stress enough the power of time freedom. That's what we really need. And you know, that's what the entrepreneur should be seeking, is not so much the money as the time freedom, but it takes both, doesn't it? It takes money to have time freedom. It is so important, not only as an entrepreneur, but just to allow you to get to the place as a human being where you have time to do the really important things, the higher things in life, like spending more time with the Lord, spending more time with your family. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the ways that you can use stock trading as a family business, and that can give you the potential to create time freedom. You know, from a stock trading viewpoint, there are a lot of ways to create time freedom. If you're using stock trading as your business, your family business, well, let's think about some of these things, okay? Because we don't want you to sit in front of a screen 10 hours a day and get addicted to watching the stock market. That's not what TRADEway is all about. If you're trading the right way, then it's going to be saving you some time. Go out to TRADEway.com and check out one of our awesome memberships called Trader Max. With this membership, you're going to learn everything you want to know about how to trade in the stock market. And we start from ground zero, so you don't have to have any previous experience at all to get started today. But it's going to take you beyond learning about stocks. It's also going to take you into trading options, which, by the way, that's how you gain leverage. You learn to leverage your money, where every dollar is worth maybe $7 to $14. And when you learn how to leverage your money, then you're gaining the potential to not only create cash flow for your family, but also create generational wealth. And with regard to the information that you're going to learn with Trader Max about stocks and options, by the way, you're going to get some other great benefits too. I mean, you're going to get some ongoing coaching and all kinds of cool things. But once you get this idea of the right way to trade with the skill sets that you've learned, then you'll understand that you're not trading all the time. That's really important to understand. A lot of people get the idea they're supposed to just be in the market every day, and that is not true. Because what you're looking at the whole market. We call that market tone. But do you remember the 3 legs of the trading table? You got fundamental analysis that tells you how good the company is, how good its products and management are. You've got technical analysis, which shows you sort of the emotions of that particular stock and how it moves up and down over time and so forth. And then you've got this thing called market tone. And that's the part that tells you that it's not always a great time to be in the market, or maybe it is a great time to be in the market. It's really important to understand market tone. One of the great benefits of Trader Max, by the way, is that you'll receive market alerts every day. Now, these market alerts focus on the market tone, world events, economic events, and that's what drives the whole market. So you want your plays to be in sync with the market, right? And that tells you right there that you don't want to be in the market all the time. You got to realize there are great times when you shouldn't trade, when you should be in cash. So we're talking about time freedom today. Well, receiving these market alerts, that's a huge time saver. Think about it. They're going to help you to begin to understand the market tone as you go. And really, most people, it takes 5 to 10 years to get good at that. So right from the get-go, we're going to help you with that. The reason it takes so long to get good at market tone is because you got to actually trade through a lot of bull markets and bear markets and bull markets and bear markets through many years to really have a good educated feel for what the market's going to do. Well, you can't accomplish that overnight. So our family's been doing this for 4 generations, and we're going to help you with this. Instead of taking you 10 years to get good at this, you're going to have the research done for you right now, and you're going to learn what to look for as you go. So think of the time that's going to save you. One of the greatest stock traders of all time, Jesse Livermore, said this: "The sitting and the waiting is the most important part of trading." Now, what did he mean by that? He meant it's best not to be in the market all the time. So what he would do, he would sit and watch the market. He would realize that there were only several times a year when all the conditions were what he would think were perfect for an up trade, for example, buying stocks. And so he would wait until that time when he thought everything looked right. For us, that would be when all three legs are on the trading table. The fundamentals look good, the technicals look good, and the market tone says go, right? He would wait until such a time, and then he would go into the market. And then he would take profits on that and stop and not trade again until the next time everything lined up. And that is such a great way to trade. It's the right way to trade. So think about it. If you're trading that way, you're not in the market all the time. You have a lot of time when you can be spending time with your family. You can be spending time going over past trades, see what you did well and what you didn't do well, and improving. You can spend time learning new strategies and all sorts of things. You can even do some things you always wanted to do. Take a piano lesson, take a guitar lesson. Maybe you're a poet and you don't know it, right? So some of the higher things in life you can do when you have time freedom. How about spend more time contemplating the Word of God, seeing, not just reading it, but meditating on it, letting the Lord speak to us. There's so many great things we can do with time freedom. All right, one of the things Jesse Livermore did all the time, every year, is at the end of the year, he had a best friend who owned a bank. Wonder why they were best friends. But anyway, his banker friend would let him use the vault. He would go into the vault of the bank, and they would put a little table in there, some sandwiches and refreshments, an ice box, some drinks, and so forth. And he would close the vault and leave. And Jesse Livermore would stay in there from the day after Christmas until the bank opened after New Year's. And he would review every stock trade he had done the entire previous year, what he did right, what he did wrong, and then he would plot out his goals for the coming year. He did that every single year. So that's how seriously you have to take stock trading if you want it to change your family financially out to 2 or 3 generations. But the main thing is, by the very nature of proper trading, my first point is you're going to have more time freedom because you don't trade all the time if you're doing it right. Now, secondly, we can use technology. We can use the technology that's available at your stockbrokers. The software that they provide you allows you to do a lot of cool things. Most of you guys are familiar with stopping out, right? We've talked about that in previous episodes. And that's what we do when the play does not go the way we thought it would. We take an acceptable expense. We don't like to call it a loss because we don't want you to think like a loser, right? It's an expense. It's part of the business expense of trading is they don't all go the right way. So when they go the wrong way, we stop them out. What does that mean? It means we can use the broker's software to put a price in that if the stock drops to that price, it will get us out of the market with an acceptably small loss or expense, as we call it. So, you use those all the time. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is the same software that will let you stop out of a play will let you stop into a play. And you can actually set the software to tell it, now that stock is moving down right now. And when it bounces up off of a certain support line you've drawn, it bounces up and hits a certain price moving up to put me into that stock or call option. Either one, both are up plays, right? In other words, you've already pre-picked where you want the market to be when you enter it with that particular stock, and you tell the software, put me in when it gets there, and then you can get on an airplane, fly off for a vacation, and it'll put you in if the market goes up. If the stock moves up to that point, it'll put you in. Now, what's cool, it won't put you in if it doesn't, and that's great because you don't want to be in a stock that's moving the wrong way. So that's just one way that you can use technology to save some of your time. You don't have to sit and watch that play. Think about it. You've already done your homework. You know where your support and resistance lines are. You know where that stock is rolling between 2 price points. It just hit the lowest one and bounced up. Or you can see where 5 days from now you think it's going to do that, and you see what the price would be if it did that. You tell the software when it gets to that price, put me in that stock or that call option. Then you can tell the software, hey, after it's moved up, it's normal $5. If let's say it's rolling $5. After it moves up $5, take me out for a profit. and it'll put the $5 profit in your account. Now, if you got, say, 1,000 shares you're controlling, that's $5,000. Boom. It just puts it right in your account, and you're doing nothing. You're on the airplane or on the ship doing a cruise, and the software is doing the work for you. So there's a great way you can free up some time freedom, is using the technology that's available with almost every stockbroker you would choose. Now, there's another way you can save some time. If you go out to TRADEway.com and check out our membership called Trader Pro, there are some advanced strategies that you'll learn that really start to create some time freedom for you. Now, with this membership, you're going to receive everything you get with the other two memberships. So you'll get the market alerts, and you're going to get access to our wonderful education on how to trade stocks and options, and all of this you'll be learning from ground zero. So you don't have to have any previous experience to do Trader Pro either. But once you've learned how to trade stocks and options, then you're going to get into more advanced strategies with this membership. And one that's really exciting in terms of creating time freedom is a thing called spreads. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But since we're talking about creating more time freedom in general today, there are 3 specific things that come with Trader Pro that are going to really help you do that. One is the market alerts, like we talked about earlier. You're going to get one of these every day, and it looks at what the whole market is doing that day and how that might affect the trade that you're thinking about doing. And all that research has already been done for you. But another awesome benefit is a thing called the live trading hour. This is where our coaches do rapid fire analysis with you during trading hours. You're going to be able to take maybe the stocks that you're looking at already and have these experienced coaches pop it up, look at a chart, and actually analyze it in real time right there with you and lots of other people. And you'll be able to make informed decisions on whether or not you actually want to do that play that day. The live trading hour happens every single week, Monday through Thursday, from 2 to 3 p.m. Central. And of course, you're going to have access to coaching on Fridays as well. So you got a lot of support. Now, the third thing about Trader Pro that's super helpful and can help save you a lot of time is our Active Trader community page, which gives you 24/7 access to an online community with our coaches and students. And you're going to talk about your trades and get other questions answered. You can post stocks for other people to comment on and all sorts of things like that. So it's going to help you get tons of support while you're learning these skill sets. And this is going to help you have the confidence that you need to make your trades, and that is so important. Now, the biggest time saver you get with Trader Pro, I call it time compression. Think about it. This membership is going to give you access to everything we teach and all these wonderful strategies and our amazing support system, all of that. It took our family over 30 years to put all this together, and you gain access to it in an instant of time. Now, let's assume you've signed up for Trader Pro and you've gone through all that education and you've gotten to the point where you've learned about spreads. Well, there's a concept called credit spreads, and there's several kinds of those, but there's one in particular called the bull put spread. And I'm going to talk about that one for a little while for the sake of an example of the kind of potential you have when you learn these skill sets and the kind of tools they provide for your family. Now, you got to take a course called Step 3 to learn the mechanics of how a strategy like this works. But remember, that course is included in our Trader Pro membership. Now, this is just one more of the great things that the Lord put out there on the shelf for you and your family to do. A bull put spread, the name of the spread tells you what it is. So let's take each word individually. First of all, bull. That means you're doing this strategy in a bullish market where you have an uptrend or a stock that's rolling up. So it's an up play, all right? The word put means you're going to use put options. Now, I think you've heard us talk about calls and puts in previous episodes. A call is an option that makes money when the stock goes up that it's attached to. A put is an option that makes money if that stock moves down. Now, think about it. Now you have the potential to make money when the market's moving up, when your stock's moving up, or when it's moving down. So this is called a bull put spread. It's a bullish play. We're going to use puts. Now that may seem odd to you to use a put because they make money when you buy a put. That makes money when the market moves down, but this is bullish. Well, it's because in this play, you're not buying the put, you're selling the put. Now, you're not going to understand all about that in this episode, but if you go out to TRADEway.com and you select Trader Pro, you're going to get to the place where you're going to understand how this spread works. But I just want to let you visualize it. So in the bull put spread, we're actually going to sell a put and buy a put on the same stock. That's called a spread, and it's a bullish play. So let me give you this example. Here's one. Now, this is in the past, so remember, that doesn't mean this would be a good trade to do now. But this was Amazon, and this trade was one that was actually done back in 2016, in May of 2016. And you might ask, David, how does this save me time? Well, the reason is we teach you in step 3 to do these trades with what we call weekly options. They expire every week rather than monthly. So we're using a weekly option, and by the time we get into the trade, which is usually on a Monday or Tuesday, you'll be out of the trade within an average of 3 days. So you're only in the market. You're only risking your money in the market for 3 days. So we have quite a few folks that make a living trading, that learn their skills from TRADEway. And a lot of them use bull put spreads and bear call spreads to make their weekly and monthly revenue. So, what's cool is you can be in the market 3 days and be out, and then you got Thursday and Friday to spend time with your family if you chose this strategy to focus on mostly. So a bull put spread example back in May of 2016 with Amazon. At that particular day, and I would imagine that was probably a Monday because that's when we normally do these. On that particular day, the stock was at $672.64. And right there, you may stop and say, well, I can't afford that. I'd have to have over $500,000 to own 1,000 shares of that. I can't afford that. Well, that's true if you were buying the stock, right? But remember, we're doing a bull put spread, which means you're selling. Now, if you're the seller, you're the one that gets paid the money. It doesn't cost you money to do the trade. Think about that. This will kind of whet your appetite to go out and sign up for Trader Pro, won't it? So you can get access to the knowledge of how to do these spreads the right way. And so anyway, that stock was at $672.64, $672.64. Now, a person who had about, let's say, $100,000 in their trading account, and I'm going to use this example because the math is good on this, but you can do it with way less money. But let's say you had $100,000 in your trading account. You could actually do this play and be done in 3 days. And while the stock is at $672.64 per share, what you would do in that week of Monday, there's an options expiration Friday of that same week. So you would pick that Friday as the expiration date on the put option. So now remember that we learned earlier that on a bull put spread, we're going to sell a put and buy a put on the same stock. So if this stock is at 672, you can drop down lower and sell the 657.50 and then drop a little bit lower, about $2.50 down, and get a strike price of $655 and buy that one. Now, the one you're buying is insurance. You'll learn that when you take step 3. It's really the one you're selling that's making the money for you, because when you sell, they give you the money the minute you sell it. So think about it. You're going to put this play on. You're going to sell a $657.50 put on Amazon, and you're going to buy a $655 put, which is insurance. That gives you a $2.50 spread. And you're going to make the difference between the bid and ask on those two different options. And in this case, it was about 30 cents. So we did about 175 contracts, which means we're controlling 17,500 shares. And you'd have to have about $80,000 in the account, about $100,000 for them to let you do this. But once you do that, you make what we call a 30-cent net credit. So they pay you 30 cents a share immediately, the moment you do the trade. So it doesn't take money to do the trade. It gives you money, but you have to have a certain amount of money in your account before they let you do the trade. Does that make sense? They call that margin hold. So with that particular example, you controlled about 17,500 shares by selling a put and buying a put. You made 30 cents a share. Do the math, 30 cents times 17,500, that's $5,250 cash that goes into your account. Now, if that trade moves sideways, doesn't have to even move up like a regular trade. It can just move straight sideways. Doesn't have to, the stock can remain at 672 all week. Or if it moves up, you're going to get to keep the $5,250. If it moves down slightly, you still get to keep the $5,250. So think about it. That stock could move up, down, or sideways and still make the same money under certain parameters. You got to go out and take the step 3 with the Trader Pro program in order to know the mechanics of all this, but it is something out there that the Lord put on the shelf for you and your family to learn how to do. And I know you're thinking, hey, I'm not starting out with 100,000 or 80,000 in my account. Well, you don't have to do 175 contracts to do this play. You can do one contract. All right. In this particular example, where we controlled 17,500 shares and made $5,250 in 3 or 4 days, well, what if you just did 17 contracts? Then you would make $525, so you don't have to have that much money. You can do one contract, which controls 100 shares. And if you controlled 100 shares on this particular example, you'd still make $300. So think about it. In 3 or 4 days, you can make $300. You can do a lot with $300 every week. I mean, you don't have to have $100,000 to start doing these. So just think about the potential. I don't know where you are on your journey. You might be a young person starting out, so you could do one contract on this play. Or you might be a 60, 70-year-old person that's got big retirement money through all those years of 401ks and so forth. You might be the person who could do 175 contracts on this and make $5,000 a week. And I mean, there's other plays out there where you have the potential to make $5,000 a week. There are all kinds of different plays available and different opportunities when you know these skill sets. But the point I'm trying to make is no matter where you are in your journey, you have some great potential here. So imagine if you could make around $5,250 in 3 days, because you usually get in it Monday, get out Thursday, 3 or 4 days. You could get in it Tuesday and get out Thursday. So you take 3 days and make $5,000, and then you do another one the next week. So if you did one every week for a month, that's $20,000 some odd in potential cash flow coming in for your family. And think about it, you got long weekends when you're doing this strategy. So it's pretty cool. So there's another way to free up some time through TRADEway knowledge. And remember, the Lord says knowledge and understanding is better than gold and rubies. Why? Because what's between your ears, nobody can take away from you. The world can take your money, but it can't take your knowledge. So once you learn these skill sets, you got a method that gives you the potential to create cash flow for your family in a way that other people don't know how to do. You can do it with a laptop from the beach, from the mountains, from anywhere you want to do it, with or without someone else. And it's such a great opportunity. Time freedom is the most valuable thing you have. You know what? Your time is infinitely valuable. Now, money is just a tool. I know it's important, but it's a finite tool. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. So we hope you'll take the steps to create more time freedom for you and your family on your journey. And remember, a powerful way to do that is to check out our Trader Pro membership at TRADEway.com. You can get started today with that membership. And with all our memberships, you can cancel at any time, so there's no risk to get started today. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, would you please rate and review it, because that'll help other people who are looking for this kind of powerful information find it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time, and we hope you have a great week.